A very warm good evening to all of you. Welcome to the 193rd session of Centa's webinar series for teachers. I hope all of you are keeping safe and staying healthy. The topic for today's webinar is creating an inclusive environment for your classroom. And the facilitator for this session is Miss Khushbu Sareen. A very good evening to you, ma'am. Very warm welcome to you for this session. Before I hand over the session to ma'am, a brief introduction about our facilitator. Miss Khushbu Sareen is a Google certified Adobe creative educator and Microsoft innovative educator with a demonstrated expertise upon above mentioned in education, popular among students. She has led a team as an academic coordinator for grades 3 to 5, acted as SPOC on school's behalf for Khan Academy and Asset educational initiatives. She has also led the teams in various projects like bringing path breaking change by implementing SDGs in partnership with UN. Also made it to the list of top 100 educators for Earth project organized by TAG. Also received awards and accolades for the work done for the previous organization. She is skilled in project management, counseling, assessment development, classroom management, content creation, design thinking, teaching, lesson planning, education training, and she is a strong supporter of SDGs. A very, very warm welcome to you, ma'am. Before I hand over the session to our facilitator today, I would like to inform all the teachers that they will receive participation certificates for the session. So please do fill out the feedback form that will be shared with you towards the end of the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Harsha, ma'am. You have described me a lot. I am really honored to conduct this session for Centa. And before we start with the session, I would like to know each other. I would like that everybody should know each other well. Because when we go into the classroom and we don't know our children and our children don't know us, then it becomes really difficult to connect, right? So in order to connect with each other well, let's know a little bit about each other. So what's going to happen now is that there would be a Padlet link shared with you in your chat box, and you have to click on the Padlet link, and then you have to just write one interesting truth about yourself and one interesting lie. It can be anything. Like if I start by with myself, I would like to say that I'm a crazy gamer. I'm a crazy gamer, and the other thing is that I'm afraid of ghosts. So the catch is you don't know what is true and what is lie, right? So I would like you people to just quickly click on your Padlet links and just see. Let's just quickly see what are the truths and what are the lies we have. Okay, I can see many people typing here now. So yes, I'm excited to know the truths and the interesting lies, right? So let's see how creative you are. Oh my God, there's a daddy's doll in the session. Wow, welcome daddy's doll. Honest, okay, that's good. You're honest, all right. So let's wait for the responses. Optimist, wonderful. One has to be. In today's scenario, when the COVID is coming again and again, we have to be optimist. Oh, Montessori atmosphere, very nice, good. Okay, so wow, happy. That's the most important thing. Sincere, all right. So we have the set of teachers, right? So we can say that yes, we have sincere people amongst us. I'm not a sincere teacher. Okay, red and sketcher, straightforward. Wow, that's a quality, I feel. Okay, beautiful. Wow, self-love, great. Humorous, amazing. Crazy of art. Wow, that's wonderful that you're crazy about art. I can't, I can't understand art so well. I love SRK. Me too. I'm shy. Okay. I think everybody is somewhere or the other. All right, happy soul, be positive, best actress. My God. So we have a group of actors. Yes, of course, I must say that all teachers are actors. Truth, I love what I do. Wow, wonderful. All right, we are just receiving more responses. I'm a happy go lucky person. Wow, wonderful, cheerful, amazing, amazing teachers. You have been, you have many qualities in you, and maybe somewhere or the other, some of these might be certain lies, but I would say that uh, that's the spirit of a teacher. We have not received even a negative feedback or the comments that that would be a lie, right? So I would say that all teachers are optimistic, right? And we have trained ourselves, or we have made our philosophy so strong to be so positive in life, and not to give up so easily, right? So and the basic concept of not giving up gives us a hope to create inclusive classroom, or you can say an inclusive environment in our classroom. And that's the topic of the day: creating an inclusive environment for your classroom. And I think in today's scenario, it has become really important to teach our students, to train our students to be inclusive, right? So with this, we should understand that what is the meaning of inclusion, right? So you can see a QR code on your screens, and you can just click on the QR code, or you can just scan your QR code in your Google Lens, and go to the Mentimeter, or there's a code which is being sent in the chat box. You can use the code to access the Mentimeter, and let's see what inclusion is according to you people. Let's find out what is inclusion according to you people. Okay, so I have included this picture, which I find is a really beautiful thought, which says you belong. So wherever you are, you belong there, right? So there's a reason why you are there, right? So you should never doubt your belongingness. So that's the thought about it. That's the thought I had behind it when I was putting this picture here. So let's see what inclusion means according to you. Let's have a look on what inclusion means according to you. I'm still waiting for the responses. Okay, if I have to begin with, I would say inclusion is to take everybody together. So let's see, what do you think inclusion is? For me, inclusion is togetherness, the feeling of being together. And oh wow, we have received our first response, which is acceptance. Okay, plural pluralism. Pluralism is another response we have got. All right. Oh, wonderful. Equal attention to all, collaboration, yes, included. Okay, yes. Simple yet difficult. I think you wanted to write simple yet different. All right. Okay, cooperation, acceptance, feeling like you belong. Beautiful, beautiful responses we are receiving. Very nice. Okay, universal, different, included, innovative. Okay, we are together. Wow, wonderful. Caring, involve everyone. Okay, okay. I can see sharing, love. Wow, wonderful. We are receiving many responses for this. Okay, all right. Yes, open minded. Yes, you have to be open minded for you know for having an inclusive classroom. Very nice. Not judgmental. Okay. Caring about others' feelings. Yes. You have to be inclusive for that. Okay. Willingness, being a part of. Very nice. Very nice. Yes. Yes. That means that you people have an idea about what inclusion means actually, right? So that makes my task easy, right? So yes, inclusion is the state of being included, or the act of including someone as a group, right? Inclusion is important. It's an important element of any organization, or you may say any of the institutions, may it be a school, may it be a college, university, MNC, anywhere, may it be an NGO, hospital, anywhere. Inclusion is a really important element, even in your home, right? Even as a family, if you don't have inclusion, if you don't have the feeling of inclusion in the family, if you don't have the concept of inclusion in the family, it becomes hard to communicate your feelings, right? It becomes hard to talk to each other, right? So inclusion is a really important element for life, I would say. And if I talk about education, inclusion is a belief that all students, regardless of labels, should be members of general education community, regardless of labels. Please mind it. That's the important thing which we should keep in mind. All students, all student means all students in the classroom, right? And regardless of the labels. So gone are the days when the teachers used to tag students with that with a name that he's a slow learner, he can't do things well, he's not able to learn well. So gone are the days, right? These days the scenario is that each child is important for their family, for their parents, and so is the child important for the teacher, right? We are there, we are because of our students. And if our students are not important for us, then we have no existence, right? We have no existence in the society. So all students, regardless of the labels, no labels attached with them. Yes, I know that it's important to categorize a classroom as average, below average, or above average students, but that categorization is for your planning. That how you have to plan your lessons, how you have to impart a certain set of curriculum, or you can say a syllabus to children, and what are the ways and means which you are going to adopt in order to satisfy the needs of each and every child of your class. But that should not act as the label for a child, right? So you should see your class as a whole, as a unit, right? So that's the education community for me. My classroom as a unit is the education community for me. And if you can observe a picture attached in the slide that shows exclusion, segregation, integration, and inclusion. Inclusion means that it should be blended so well. The students should be blended like particles so well that there is no differentiation between the students among them, that what who is doing what and how, right? So that's the inclusion in education. Now let's perform an activity. So I want you to take a paper and a pen or a pencil, and I'll be providing certain instructions to you, and you have to follow the instructions. No instructions will be repeated, right? I'm not going to repeat the instructions. I'll be a little firm with this, that I'm not going to repeat any instructions. And you have to perform the activity as instructed. You just have to listen to me. Let's test your listening skills here, how quickly you respond to the activity, to the instructions which I'm giving to you. I hope everybody is ready with the pen and the paper. So my first instruction for you is write your first name on the top left corner of the sheet. Write your last name on the bottom right corner of the sheet. Make a circle in the center of the sheet. Now draw 3 triangles around the circle. Write your date of birth under the circle. Put 4 crosses inside the circle. Write today's date on the top right corner of the sheet. Write thank you on the bottom left corner of the sheet. I hope you were quick enough. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to grade ourselves, right? So for each correct answer you can give yourself 10 points, or let's do it this way, that out of 100 if you get an answer incorrect, so what you have to do, you have to do minus 10 out of 100, right? So if one of the answers is incorrect, if you're not, if you have not followed the instruction properly, that whatever is the direction, whatever is the position on the page has not been followed, so you have to deduct your marks, right? So let's find out how well, how efficient listeners we are, right? So I'm going to speak my instructions once again, and this time I'm going to speak it slowly so that you are able to hear it properly, you are able to interpret it, and then see whether you have got the correct answer or not. So my first instruction was write your name on the top left corner of the sheet. You had to write your first name on the top left corner of the sheet. So the next instruction was write your last name on the bottom right corner of the sheet. Your last name had to go on the bottom right corner of the sheet. Then you had to make a circle in the center of the sheet. So I hope you had made a circle in the center of the sheet. Then you had to make 3 triangles around that circle. 3 triangles around that circle. After that, you had to write your date of birth under the circle. So you had to write your date of birth under the circle. Then you had to put 4 crosses inside the circle. The triangles were around the circle, date of birth was under the circle, and 4 crosses were inside the circle. Then you had to write today's date on the top right corner of the sheet. I hope you got the date correct. Okay, so the last thing was that you had to write thank you on the bottom left corner of the sheet. So I hope by now you might have total up how many correct answers you have got and how many incorrect answers you have got, and you might have calculated your score out of 100, right? So I would like you people to share the score in the chat box. I would like to see your score in the chat box. Okay, one has scored 90. That's amazing. Wow. Okay, let's see what else we can find. Okay, 90, 80, 90, 90, 70, 80, 90, 100. Wow, amazing. 100, 100. Okay, 90, 80. Wow, all correct. That's nice. Amazing, amazing. I can see that. So, what does it show? Even if I was quite fast in giving the instructions, I was quite clear about my instructions. And I am happy that I was able to convey myself really well. Okay, one has scored 60. Not bad. Okay, 70. All right. 60. Very nice. All correct. Okay. Ma'am, I think you, Kiran ma'am, I think you have to check your connectivity. From my end, there is no issue. Okay, Madhuri, that's okay if you have got 30. All right, all correct. So, see, we can see here is that somewhere or the other we were, skipping one or the other instructions, right? Now think about your students, back to back periods, and we go into the staff room and crib, are yaar, we have not got any free periods since morning. Oh my god, the day is so hectic. When am I supposed to check my notebooks? The kids are not doing the work. We are always cribbing. We are always cribbing. But have you ever given a thought about the situation that a child is sitting on that desk since morning, and the continuous back to back periods period bell is ringing, and the child is continuously taking out one notebook, then the other, then the third one, and luckily it's a sports day, it's a games period today, so the child will go for the games. And so what's the reason that children are so excited about such activity periods? That's the reason, because we don't think about the situation of a child. We are just filling them up with instructions, with a set of instructions every time, every single time, and we are just bothered about our subject. We are not thinking about the situation of a child who is studying six subjects every day, every single day, and the pressure the child has of writing in every single period, right? We don't even think about that. But I think from now on, we should start thinking about it. Inclusion does not only mean that you have to include everybody in your classroom only. Inclusion has to come in your mind also. You have to think their day as a whole. Don't think your period is important or someone else's period is important. Please plan your lessons in a way that students do get some time to relax, to think, to act upon. Then we have, if we are not giving that time, then we have no right to say that the children have less attention span, right? So yes, what is the need of inclusion? So this is the biggest question the teachers have started asking, because we are talking about inclusion a lot these days. But what's the need of inclusion? Why inclusion is needed for for education, or for that matter, I say that why we have to incorporate inclusion so that we can prepare our children for life. So that's the question. What's the need of it? So, if I talk about education, if I talk about the formal education system, inclusion is needed to make all learners feel supported academically. It does not mean that if a child is good in your subject, he or she may be good in some other subject, right? He or she may be struggling. Suppose if I talk about my subject, my teaching subject is maths. As of now, if I talk about certain students in my classroom, so they love doing maths, and some are there who get afraid of maths, who get really scared of questions being given. But if I talk, on the other hand, if I talk to my parallel teachers, or my co-teachers, and find out that the same child who is scared of maths is really good in English, right? That happens with everybody, right? So we have to think about the ways and means where we can make our learners feel supported. Even if the child does not show interest in your subject, right? Still, you have to make him feel that you are there for the child. You're there for him or her, right? So then it says the need is to extend a sense of belongingness. See, if you'll keep pointing out the child in the classroom, if you'll just keep name tagging the children in the classroom, the child will never feel belonged, right? To make the child feel belonged, to make the child feel comfortable, you have to give that feeling from your side. You have to pass on that vibrations, you have to pass on that frequency to the children, that the classroom is for them, you are for them, right? The next thing is the need is to allow the students of all backgrounds learn and grow together. So, if I talk about this point, when I was writing this point, I had a viewpoint in my mind that the students in your classroom have diverse backgrounds, right? There may be a chance that there might be a student in the classroom who belongs to some economically weaker section, right? Maybe the parents are struggling with the finances, right? Maybe the lifestyle is quite different, right? Some are coming from the modern families, some are coming from the traditional families, right? So every background has to be acceptable, not only for you but also for your children, right? Those are your children. I prefer calling my students as my kids or my children, because only then you have the sense of attainment, right? Then you have the sense, yes, even you need the sense of belongingness, and that sense of belongingness only comes when you think about the children to be apna. You have to think them as your own, right? You have to treat them, even or if even if you are not a class teacher, even if you are not the class in charge, still you're going into the classroom, right? So you have to think, you have to consider, and you have to treat the children as they are of your own. So now we have to understand that what is an inclusive classroom. We have talked about inclusion, we should also know that what is an inclusive classroom, right? So an inclusive classroom is a classroom where students with or without learning differences learn together. So here I have already talked about the learning differences, right? Some are slow learners, some are fast learners, right? So that's what inclusive classroom is, where every child is accommodated. Every child has his her own space, right? They are valued regardless of what kind of learning needs they have. If I talk about my classroom, I have during the span of this the career I had so far, I had experienced different kinds of classroom. I had a classroom where I had a child who had certain physical needs, right? There was a physical disability in the child. I have dealt with a classroom where the class was of rowdies, and then all of a sudden, a good day, I was told that the school has adopted a child from a school which is taking care of the economically weaker section of the society. And I was so concerned at the first place that how my class is going to react upon it. I was so worried about the child who was going to come into my classroom. What a cultural, what a what a difference, community difference she had to suffer. She had to go through. How will she adjust with all those students who are, having their own tabs, fancy games, and they're talking about, having parties at good places? What is going to happen? And when I met the child, I was my concern grew when I met the child, when I met the parents. The child's parent, the father was a rickshaw puller, and the mother, she was a house help. Then it really became a challenge for me. But I was really concerned because my kids were really straightforward. They used to tell things on each other's faces, and that was just the beginning of the session. I hardly, I had not had any interaction with that set of kids in the previous year, and I had never got a chance to go into their classroom. So I was concerned. I kept on thinking that I had spent 2, 3 restless nights. I was sleepless for the nights. That what will I do? How will I accommodate the child? And I was feeling really, I was feeling pity about the child, that why the school has taken a decision, although it was taken for the benefit of the child, for a better future of that child, but still I was concerned that how the child is going to react in such situations. So what did I do? the Before the child had to join the school, I had a word with my class. I told my class that there's a child who is going to join the school, and the school has adopted the child. And they were very happy to know it, that our school has adopted a child, and it's a good social cause. We are doing great, and this and that, and they were very happy about it. And then I did not hide anything from my children. And we were so comfortable talking about everything with each other. And I'm talking about grade 5 children. So I clearly told them that, see, the child has, the child belongs to a family where the parents are struggling with finances, right? She might come on the first day of school, she might come in an attire, which you don't feel is appropriate. She might come with a school bag which might look shabby, and but you don't have to comment on it, right? And you have to accept her as she is. Maybe on her end she might have tried her best to go in her best of the outfits for the first day of the school. She might have chosen the best of the things she has with her to take to school, because she also has that anxiety that she has to go in such a prestigious organization of the city, where she's going to find, she has to make friends, right? She has to prove herself in a way where she can make friends. So, and to my surprise, when the day arrived, my children were so good to her. They made her their friend, they made her the part of the class in no time. And you know all my fears I had in my mind were gone. They were so supportive to her, even if a child from some other section was commenting something about her, they were taking a stand for her. And I was so happy about it, that I was able to include at least one child. So that was my story for one of the sessions. So that's why we say that, with or without learning differences, even if the kids have learning differences, you should be able to accommodate those learning differences. They should learn together, right? Even if you have a child with special needs in your classroom, don't think that the special educator is going to deal with that child. She is the concerned person who is going to take care of that child. The child is sitting in your classroom. You are responsible for that child. Although the child cannot go up to the level of that class, but still that child is there. That child is there for a reason, right? So we have to consider that reason. Please make him feel valued. Please give attention to such children too. Plan certain activities for such children too. Currently, if I talk about my teaching experience, I'm taking a class where I have a child with a special need. And to get friendly with them is the toughest task and is the easiest task. If you'll show love and care, even for 10 seconds in your classroom, if you give attention to that child, and that attention is not the negative attention, positive attention to that child, only for 10 seconds, that child is going to fall in love with you. And I'm sure about it, because this has happened with me. The child, every morning the child comes to me just to wish me. He finds me wherever I am. The child comes to me just to ask me, how am I doing. See how special they make you feel. Plan certain activity. Even if your schedule is packed, you're not able to plan the activity for the child, go to that child's seat, just write a few sentences for him, let him be occupied, let him feel that he is also doing something when his peers are doing, right? That's an inclusive classroom. So inclusive classroom is a classroom where diverse cultural, social, emotional, and communication needs of students are supported. We have just talked about the social needs, right? I've given you an example of the social needs of the how I had accommodated the social need of that child, right? Even the emotional needs were also related to, the concerns were there, the emotional concerns were there. She had left the school, she had left back all the friends, right? And she had to make new friends, so emotions were involved. So you had to, you have to make the child feel that you're always there for each one of them. You have to make them feel so comfortable, so welcoming. You have to be so welcoming for them that they can come and talk to you without hesitation, right? Now the question arises, how to create an inclusive environment in your classroom. I know the pressures are a lot. The deadlines, the submissions, many things are there. Many things are there for teachers. But the first thing why we became a teacher in the first place was the reason that we loved our classrooms, right? We loved to we love to talk to children. That's why at least became a teacher. I wanted to interact with the young minds of the country. So that was the reason. So why are we forgetting that reason? Why are we so busy with all the pen and paper work that we forget the reason? Why are we so worried about the results every time? Why are we worried about the syllabus every time? Why don't we give time to our children? Why don't we talk to our children? We are doing those things at home. We are talking to our children at home. We are giving time to our children at home. Why are we obligated for that but not in the school? Why are we not obligated to give time to our children in school, in classroom? That's really important, to know our children, to know what is going on in their life, right? So yes, let's do another activity to break the monotony. So we are going to play Never Have I Ever. All right. So again, you have to use the comment box for this. So we will be playing Never Have I Ever. So I'll be speaking certain things for this. I will be giving certain comments on this for Never Have I Ever. And if you have never done that thing, so you have to say never, right? So you have to say never. Otherwise, you have to be quiet, right? So, never have I ever eaten an ice cream in winters. Never have I ever eaten an ice cream in winters. Okay. Oh, okay. Somebody has not. Okay. All right. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. All right. I have eaten a lot of ice creams in winters. I love to eat ice creams in winters. Even I have to. I have. Yes. Yes. Oh my God. Somebody has never. Okay. Okay. So such a sincere child, such a sincere human being, I must say. Oh, I have. I too have. I love ice cream, especially in winters. Okay. So never have I ever told a lie to my mother. Never have I ever told a lie to my mother. Oh, I am scared of my mother. My mother was a teacher. She's a retired teacher, and he was, a very strict teacher and a strict mother. I have told many lies to escape myself. Oh yes, I have. I have. Everybody has. Oh my God, there's Meera who says never. Wow, wonderful. Wonderful. That's amazing. That's the courage you have. Oh wow, wonderful. Okay, always. Oh my God. No, not many times. Yes, of course, many times, but not always. Always is not acceptable, I think. Okay, never have I ever had a fight with my sibling. Never have I ever had a fight with my sibling. Really, yes, I can say that. I fight with my sibling a lot. A lot. A lot means a lot. We have difference of opinions. We have had cat fights and whatnot. Oh, never. Wow. Amazing. 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 You people are born for each other, huh? Nice. Nice. I too have. Never. Wow. That's really hard to not to fight with your sibling, right? Even being married from past 10 years, I do keep fighting with my sibling. I cannot digest my food without fighting with my sibling. I have to call her and I have to have a fight. Okay, all right. Never have I ever woke up at 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Never have I ever woke up at 6 a.m. on Sunday. Still fighting? Oh my God. Please don't fight. Oh, yes, I too had. It was, see, being teachers, when the day we decided to be a teacher, we had lost that privilege of sleeping till late, right? That's the thing which comes with being a teacher. Every day you have to be up before 6. Yes, always before 6, because if you'll you'll be late, you'll not be able to plan your day well. Yes, even on Sundays. Oh, okay, you have yes, everyone had, yes, many sometimes yes, sometimes it's fine, but never means never. Okay, yes, right. Never. Oh my God, it's such a privilege for you then. Wow, amazing, amazing. I would I would like to take classes from you how to do that, because if I have to plan my day and my things are pending, I have to wake up before 6 on a Sunday morning also. Okay, never have I ever played Ludo. Never have I ever played Ludo. So I think this has been done by everybody, even if not in the childhood. But yes, the lockdown has made us play Ludo. We all have played Ludo, at least in lockdowns, right? Everybody has played. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Amazing. I'm really loving it. You people are so interactive. I'm really loving it that you are responding so quickly. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. The last one. Never have I ever judged someone or made a viewpoint for someone. Never have I ever judged someone or made a viewpoint for someone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, if I talk about myself, you know, we humans have that tendency to make viewpoints. But, the self introspection is required. It's really required. We have to think about it, that why are we making a viewpoint about some person? Have we walked in the shoes of that person? No. We do not know what is going on in the background, right? We have never seen who is coming from what situation, right? So now, here, what was the purpose of this activity? Why I had played this activity with you people? The reason behind it was that yes, we have to get to know our students so well. You should know, being a class teacher, being a subject teacher, you should know what's going on in somebody, in your child's life, right? You never know this. These days, the cases of separated families, separated parents have grown so much. The number is so huge that you are going to find one, two, maybe three children in your class who are living with single parents, and they are struggling with their own emotions, right? So please, it's a request, before making a judgment for any child, please think about that what might have been going in the background. Please at least have a check that whether the child is dealing with certain situations which are not good for the child, why the child is behaving like that in the classroom, why the child is lost in the classroom. Please do so, right? So yes, we were talking about creating an inclusive classroom in the inclusive environment in the classroom. So what you can do to create that inclusive environment is switch up the seat plan, right? Keep changing the seating plan. Please don't make fix it, or do fix seats, but do not make a particular child sit with another particular child for throughout the year. Please don't do that. Please break the monotony of your class. Provide your children with the opportunity to change, right? Keep changing the seats. Let them sit with different classmates. Let them make different friends. You know, two people who are fighting a lot may become good friends after sitting together, after getting to know each other. So provide that opportunity. Provide them the opportunity to get to know, that they should get to know each other, right? This will inculcate the habit of adjustment in the children, right? Whatever may be the age group. I'm not even only talking about the smaller ones, the younger ones. I'm talking about the grown up ones also. They are very smart these days, but they are not learning adjustments, right? We have to make them so you have to be smarter than them. You have to plan your classroom in a way that you can, unknowingly make them adjust, and subconsciously they are taking it into their life. Because we have to keep in mind that we are preparing the children as the future citizens. They have a life to live, they have a long life to live, they have situations to deal with, right? We have to prepare them for those situations. We are not only here to teach, right? All right, so it's really important that you make connections between the students. They have to find the common grounds, right? So you can plan and play certain games where the students are able to find out the common grounds, right? Like we have played Never Have I Ever. So there were common grounds. We had eaten ice creams in winters. We have lied to our mothers. We had fights with our siblings. So they had certain common grounds, right? And once uh you know a discussion is initiated and they find the common grounds, they get into the elaborative discussions. You might have experienced it in your classrooms also. Then you have to stop them that okay, we have to go forward, and sometimes I really hate to stop them in between, and sometimes I have to compromise my lesson for those discussions, and I think that's fine with me. I can cope up with the lessons, but those discussions are really important. They should know, they should be aware that they are not the only one in the classroom with certain interests or certain weaknesses. There are other children also. So that's how you can say we are all in this together. So you have to bring that togetherness in the classroom. Buddy up or small group work. So you have to provide an opportunity where you can create small groups, or you can create the buddies for or you can say the pairs among your children, where they can do a certain task together. It can be any task, not any academic activity. It can be any task of your class, right? It may be the noting down of marks for a certain test. It may be setting up the classroom again, right? It may be setting up the display boards of the classroom. It can be any task. Please involve them. Make them feel that the class belongs to them, right? Okay, so the next thing is role play situation where the students can include one another. So here I would like to quote one example. Suppose a class contains a child with a very, very bad vision, right? So what you can do, empathy never comes when you say that, just get a feel, just feel how this child is feeling, just feel how bad a person is feeling. No, you have to provide that first hand experience. If we are providing first hand experience in our lessons, why not in life? Maybe you may plan an activity, maybe you may plan a day where you can tell your children to bring a blindfold in fold in the class, and whenever they are noting down certain things from the board, they have to blindfold themselves. And the condition may be that the cloth which they are using as a blindfold is not completely opaque. It is a little translucent so that they are able to see through it. So then they will realize that how difficult it is for that child, right? How the world is visible to that child. So you have to bring in that first hand experience for your children to make your classroom inclusive, so that they feel included, that one child with poor vision feels included in the classroom. Take small gestures for each and every one of them. Set expectations for socially inclusive behavior. So it's rightly said that the school is a miniature society, right? So set your classroom rules, involve students, tell them to set their rules on their own. And once they have set the rules, please give them reminders if they are not following the rules, because they have made those rules, right? And in this way, you are, training your children, you are conditioning your children to behave in a certain socially inclusive behavior, that is which is acceptable by the society, right? Because we have to train our children for the society, to survive in a society. Provide opportunity or the places for the students to meet and interact formally. So if I talk about this point, today itself I had got an opportunity to conduct one discussion session in my class where where we did not do anything in the classroom, and we discussed about what's going on in someone's life, right? So where they had shared their own things, what's happening in their life, or whether somebody has got a pet, or somebody might have getting scolded every day because of some reasons, or somebody has bought a new car, or somebody has bought a new toy, certain things like that. And there was a child in my classroom who said that he has just attended the wedding of his mamu, and there's a new member in the family. So he was so excited to tell about his mommy, and he was so fond of his mommy. So I was really happy. So you can also plan certain activities like that. Maybe one day in a week or in a month, you can plan your lunch time like that, where you are having your lunch in a setup like a dining table setup, right? Where everybody is sitting together and talking and chatting and having lunch together. Why don't you make your classroom, when we say that our classroom is a family, then why the family is not eating together? It's rightly said that the family which eats together stays together. So make them stay together. I'm not saying every day, but at least once in a week or once in a month. That is really important. Educate yourself. As a teacher, it's really important to be a learner. It's really important to learn, unlearn, and relearn according to the changing scenarios, right? Update yourself. Update yourself with the trends which are going on. Update yourself with the games which are coming up. That's really important. Your children should know that the teacher he has is smart. Children should get a chance to brag in front of their friends and family that yes, my teacher knows everything. See, there are two viewpoints according to children. One is that my teacher knows everything, and the other is that my teacher knows nothing. Please don't fit in the second viewpoint. Let your child think, regardless of the age group, any of the age groups, let your child think that my teacher knows everything. My teacher is a cool dude. You have to be a cool dude. If you have to, you have to be the part of the classroom. If you want to include yourself, you have to educate yourself, right? So finally, I would like to say that when teachers view students with strength-based mindset, they seek to celebrate, support, and accommodate learning differences. And this is the purpose of an inclusive environment in the classroom. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm really glad that you have liked my session. I'm really glad. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. How to handle ADHD child in a classroom. One thing that you don't have to decide whether the child is ADHD or not. That is the task of the counselor. That's the task of the clinical psychologist. It's not your task. That's your child, right? That's the child. If you, God forbid your child had ADHD, how would you deal that your child in at home? Please think about it. Please get into the shoes. Find out your ways and means. Please don't tag. That's the first thing, that you're not supposed to label any child. Please keep in mind. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have been quite a patient listeners. I have been talking a lot, and I have been talking and talking and talking, and you have been, listening to all the things. Yes, yes. Yes, the accommodation of students with empathy and acceptance at all level is inclusion. That indeed is inclusion, and that is required. Okay, the student.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, there is a question by Mr. Abhishek, ma'am. How to
Yes.
handle such a child who has habit of commenting?
Yeah, I was just about to come on that question. I've just read the question. Yes, when the child has the habit of commenting, one thing is that what I follow is that, see, the child is commenting because the reason is that the child needs attention. The child is attention deprived. So find out the reason why the child is attention deprived. You have to work on the root cause. Find the root cause. Then you will be able to find the solution for it. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. There is one more question by Prema, ma'am. Shall we spend separate time to learning difficulty?
I don't think so that you have to spend separate time for the learning difficulty students. If I talk about my children, what I do is that I plan certain basic tasks for them. Right? What you can do, rather than making them write in the notebook, tell them to do the things in the book. If you are a language teacher, yes, of course, make them write the basic sentences during the classroom. It's really important. And one thing, teachers, please remember that you have to go to each and every child at least once in every period, because only then the child will feel valued. Only then you will get to know what your children are doing. right? So at least once you have to go to that children too. And of course your special educator is there to find out the ways and means to deal with the learning difficulty, right? So please work in collaboration with your special educator. That's really important. You have to be best friends with your special educator. I hope that that's the answer you was looking for.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. I think they have sent you thank you, and there are more appreciations for the session, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Ms. Kushbu Sareen, for a very engaging and informative session for our community of teachers. I'm sure that our teachers have got a lot and lot of takeaways from this session. Thank you so much, all the participants, for engaging with us today. To register for more such upcoming webinars, please visit my center. Thank you to all the participants again. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.